Welcome everyone, my name is Lilian Ajayi and I'm the founder of Global Connections for Women, and I'm also your host on Path to Passion TV. Path to Passion would capture the stories of young women entrepreneurs who are pursuing their passion and uplifting others to do the same through community, courage, and confidence. The show would capture their stories and we hope to inspire you to follow your dreams. Today we're going to interview three phenomenal women. Nisha Moodley, life and business coach; Caroline Goh, the co-founder of Label Elite; and the self-proclaimed baker, Terry Chan. They're all here to tell stories about their journey and inspire you to pursue yours. Stay tuned! Today we're going to interview Nisha Moodley, who is a sensational woman. She's also a business coach for women entrepreneurs. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Nisha continues to travel around the world, educating and empowering women to pursue their goals and move forward in achieving them. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how it all started?
Yeah, so I think my journey started when I was born. And I'm making light of it, I'm making a joke, but you know, from a very early age, my parents divorced when I was 3 years old. Mm-hmm. And I had a great childhood and I had a rough childhood. Mm-hmm. And was an only child until I was 9 when my brother was born. But in those early years, I just, like many of us, had to deal with a lot. Mm-hmm. Parents divorcing and lots of confusion. And even then, at the age of 3, I knew that I needed a vice.
Wow.
So I turned to food. And food was my BFF for years. I think it developed into very much a compulsive relationship. So definitely an overeater, an emotional eater for years. Mm-hmm. And when I came into my early mid-20s, I was like craving a change. I went through the quarter life crisis, as many of us do. And started getting into health and yoga and all things, natural and holistic.
Right.
And from there, my life just started to change, and my emotional eating patterns started to change. And I decided to help other women find freedom with food. So, put myself through school. Went to a school called the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which is a fantastic school, and started my career as a health coach, empowering women to find freedom from emotional eating. And I was doing that for several years, had a very successful business. The only problem was my addiction to food was gone, but now I was a total workaholic. And I had built a business that required me to work 24/7 to keep it going. And so it was very successful in terms of financially and how I was helping people.
Right.
But I needed to change something. So I started to turn my business around. And as I did in the past, I realized, man, I want to help women do this as well.
Right.
So I started working with other health coaches and women entrepreneurs to create freedom in their businesses, and so that they can serve more people in a way that's healthy for them. And so that's what I'm doing now.
What would you say you're most passionate about? Like, what motivates Nisha?
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. I'm most passionate about freedom.
Okay.
And I believe that freedom comes in many forms.
Right.
We talk a lot in entrepreneurial circles about financial freedom, which is great. That's one, as I call it, one currency of freedom. But there's also creativity.
Right.
Like for me, I feel free when I'm riding my creative edge. I need that as a part of the whole picture.
Right.
So money, finances, creativity, connection,
Right.
which is like connection with people, spirituality, making a difference, connection to purpose. There is health and vitality as well. Like, how healthy are you feeling? And I think that's a currency of freedom as well. And then time, because all the money in the world doesn't necessarily give you time to be with your family and friends. I think all of us know somebody who's super rich but doesn't get to, like, monetarily speaking, super rich, but doesn't feel rich in their lives and doesn't get to enjoy all this money that they've stacked up because they haven't created time for themselves. And so within time, one of my big values is location freedom. I love to travel, so I had to create that for myself. So passionate about freedom for everybody.
If you had to say that you've learned something about yourself through all your entrepreneurial endeavors, what would it be?
Oh gosh. So I've always been kind of rubbery. Like I'm quite resilient and bounce back. And I thought everybody was just like that. And I've come to realize that that's like a real strength of mine, that I'm a pretty resilient person.
What would you say one thing you notice about women who are trying to set objectives and are trying to attain them? Like, what have you noticed about their attitude?
Well, you know, I have a philosophy around goal setting.
Okay.
So, and it's not just women, but we tend to set goals for ourselves. This is what success will look like.
Right.
And I'm going to work my tuchus off till I get there. And it's beautiful.
Right.
You know, sometimes we need to just like put the pedal to the metal and do whatever it takes to get where we want to go.
Right.
At the same time, I believe that in that paradigm that success is a thing off in the future that we need to fight and struggle towards, when we're operating in that paradigm, we are more likely to build businesses or build relationships or build things that require that same level of struggle to maintain.
Right.
And not only that, but then if we arrive at that place that success, we've made it, we probably won't feel successful. We won't feel satisfied because the journey wasn't satisfying.
Okay.
So what I notice is that women who can be really into self-care or really into, you know, living well, become entrepreneurs and start setting goals and then all of a sudden get miserable.
Right, right.
And I think it's important that we remember that what we're striving for is probably something that we can experience in a way right now.
Right.
And when we start integrating those feelings of success into our day-to-day life, then we feel successful. And then guess what? We have more experiences of success.
Right. A lot of times, you know, you want it, but you're afraid to ask for it.
Yeah.
You know, what advice would you give to people who are in the position where they can see themselves doing it, they know they can do it, and now they're just fearful? Like, what if I ask and they say no?
Yeah. Fear is awesome. Like, I don't know why everybody wants to kill fear, squash fear, end fear. First of all, we need fear, because with no fear, you would just walk across the street and be a pancake tomorrow.
Right.
So fear is a natural, healthy mechanism.
Right.
And fear shows up when we're doing new things because it's new. And I could talk all about the brain, and I'm not going to go into that right now, but fear is a totally natural sensation to have. And so when I feel fear when I'm about to do something new, I check in and I say, like, okay, when I think about this thing, do I get this very contracted feeling, or do I feel expanded but I'm fearful? Right. If there's expansion, I'm going in the right direction. The fear is normal and healthy, and I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling fearful. Good. I'm doing something new. Okay. I'm growing. I'm stretching. So I always say to women, like, if you're feeling fearful, great, welcome it in. Give it a seat at the dinner table. Thank you for being here. You're letting me know that I'm doing something new.
Right.
And you're letting me know what I need. Maybe it's help. Maybe I'm confused about something, so you're showing me where I need to get clear. And you know, you can hang out at the dinner table, and I'm going to keep moving. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much all for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Awesome.